You have the floor.
All right. Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'd like to call the Board of Assessors October 18th, 2022 meeting to order. First order of business, I'm filling in for Bob Warren. My name is Mark Raxton, so I just want to get that on the records. And first order of business is approval of the previous meeting minutes. So if there's no changes or any corrections, I'd like to take a motion for approval of the previous meeting minutes.
I move that we approve the previous meeting.
Mr. Mayor, there's a second. All right, motion been made, properly second. Do we have any comments or questions? Being none, all those in favor of the motion manifest by the voting sign of aye. Aye. All those opposed will do likewise. Motion carries. All right, next item of business is the section of digest changes related to personal property. Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Chair. We're gonna start with the administrative agenda, which is page 3, 4, and 5. And these are changes that were made to 18 different properties, the account level, due to the returns being processed for 2022. They had not been processed timely by us due to shortage of staff. So we're in the process of trying to get these things processed, and these are from the 21 to 22 values. So the adjustments are as follows. As you can see, it's U.S. Bank is two account, ADP has one account. Wells Fargo has several accounts in the whole scheme. Electronic scanning, they end up closing in 2020. In 2022, they closed 2021. NPRTO, Georgia, we processed their return as well. ADP had a second account. Page 4, 3 accounts for DirecTV, 3 more accounts for Wells Fargo, Mad Rentals, and then manufacturer services and also Wells Fargo, GL Rosetta, they corrected their inventory, and Kimcrest had a conversion issue, so we had to correct they had a excess in inventory, so we had to correct that inventory on their account. Then we go to the A4s. The A4s are the properties that are under appeal that we believe we could change. This is page 6. And there are a few that need to be changed, so we made corrections to those. So you see the A4s on page 6 and 7. And then we go on to the A2, which are the no changes. And no changes at page 8, 9, 8, 9, and 10. So there's 3 properties, all the parts of no changes to value, and will be certified to court. Any questions?
That one, Jane, on page, let's see,
7.
nothing on page 3, item number 5. They're trying to stand the service.
Yes.
Service. Is that just a change to the digest, or
It's a
we
change.
actually have to write in change?
No, it's just change that. This is change.
The question in regards to Wells Fargo, you said that they took out what kind of machines, and that impacted the valuation?
No, these are the account change, the evaluations for 22. We didn't process the returns timely due to short staff. So the Wells Fargo would go to just changes to the digest based on the returns they filed for 22.
Based on, yeah, nothing but its inventory.
No, not Wells Fargo. They have several accounts, so it just, they do so many different things, Wells Fargo Finance, Wells Fargo Manufacturing Services, they do a lot of different things outside of banking. And these are non-banking accounts. So these aren't branches, these are actual leases and things like that they have around the county that they hold, they hold the leases.
But did they have a physical location in Douglas County? Or
Not, no, this is just assets, not a building of any kind. This is like at different locations in Brown County.
Gotcha. Any other questions related to personal property tax?
One other quick question, on page 5, KBM Press Corporation, Kimpress, it's Kimpress, sorry. And you probably said those in that missed it. That conversion there, is that a system conversion on our end, or what specifically is that conversion?
I'm not quite sure where it came from, but some sort of way the inventory got doubled in the conversion from WinGap to IAS, and we had to repair it because it was basically showing a value of $3.2 million. Well, what actually not that. It's actually smaller than that. $2.8 million that they should not have had. So we had to bring it down, but they have a free board. So it's the negative number shows the free board as well as the adjustment in inventory.
Okay, so it's a little bit of both the internal system conversion error and the free board.
Correct. Right. Okay.
Good.
And those that have no change, that's more for informational purposes.
Yes, just to let you know, there's a certified to the board.
Any further comments? I'd entertain a motion for the personal property digest change.
Make a motion that we accept personal property tax.
That's it. We have a motion to the property second. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor of the motion, manifest by the voting sign of aye. Aye. All those opposed, if you likewise. Motion carried. Thank you. All right. Next, real property digest change.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I have some of you confused on some of the paperwork, trying to get the pages and everything together. Okay, all right, I'm going to present the residential real property digest changes, and we're going to start on pages 11 through 17, which will be the 2020, 2021, and 2022 admin changes, and these are to the homestead and ownership and a couple of other things mixed in with it. So, we'll get to that page.
Good, thank you, David.
Start at page 11. Yes, sir. If you can't get there, it may be on the back. You got it? Good. Okay, I'm gonna kind of go through some of the homesteads first. Let's see, we have one. Number 22, as you know, the bills have gone. People are seeing their bills and realizing that they didn't get all of their docs in for their homestead exemption. So more documentation is coming in as we speak to get that homestead on that bill so that they can pay a little bit of a reduced amount. So 22 and 23, the documentation came in for approval for basic on 23. And number 23 is L9, which is a 65 plus senior. I'm going to go back up to number 18. The owner passed in 2020, but we needed to correct the deed and the ownership on this for 21 and for 22. So you will see it also on pages for 20, on pages 16 for that one. Okay. On number 19, Emery Purcell, there was an audit conducted in 2020 that stated that maybe this person was deceased and they took them off of homestead. And I guess the person came alive again and said that, hey, I'm not And they proved that they were not deceased, so we're reinstating their L8 for 2020, 2021, and 2022. So you can also see that on page 16 and page 17, the 2 years. Okay, on 20, we had a misdeed that was corrected after the digest. It was corrected because they put an incorrect date on the deed, and it was corrected in August of this year, and it pertained to 19 parcels. And this was an investor to another investor. So, number one, I'm gonna kind of count down all 19 of them so you'll know which ones they are. 20 is 1, 2 is 21, 3 is 24, 4 is 25 on the next page, 5 is 27, 6 is 28, 7 is 31, and you can kind of tell by the name of the businesses, the HPA, USR, SFR, that these are investors. On page 13, number 33 is 8, 35 is 9, 36 is 10, 37 is 11, 38 is 12. On page 14, 39 is 13, 40 is 14, page 15, 46 is 15, 47 is 16, 49 is 17, 50 is 18, and 51 is 9. I want to make sure I identify all 19 that were corrected for 2022. I'm going to go back to page 11. Oh no, I'm going back and forth. I think I'm finished with page 11 because I did it 22. Page 12, you have another approval for homestead where they returned in their documentation on number 26. F5, it was a veteran of 62 plus. On 29 and 30 and 32, which is on the next page. This was the removal of Puma. I believe that Leanne stated, I think the last couple of board meetings, that this is the person that wanted to breach. We gave them the approval to the breach, and now we have removed the Puma on those 3 parts. Page 13, we have another homestead on number 34, F5, it is a veteran 62 plus. On page 14, on number 41, that was a land use code change. This was an outline, a sliver of parcel that was coded incorrectly for 2022. It had been outlined for the past years, and it was miscoded for 22. So we put it back to the outline, which is 10% of the basic lot value. So it was reduced from 35,000 down to 35. Number 42, which is Terry Taylor. This was a sliver of land that was actually kind of sitting out there. The owners had split it out as parcel 18. It was the nominal value of $250. So really it went from 0 to $250 on this particular sheet. So it was added to the digest. And even though it was added to the digest, $250 is our nominal value, so it's really not even going to be taxed because it's the nominal value. So we needed to put it on the digest to combine it for 2023. They're going to combine it with parcel 8 for 2023. So it has to go through a process in order to get combined for next year. So it was added for this year at the nominal value. Number 45 at the bottom. The white passed on this one. I'm not sure. Yes, the white passed, and they got the documentation in for the reinstated the L7, which was 62 to 65 seats. On page 15, number 48, the taxpayer called and said, hey, I actually own this property. So we found that we had missed that deed in 2017. 21. So that was added to the digest for 21 and for 22. Again, most of these have no value changes. On page 16, this is the 2021. We spoke about all of these on the other page, but this is the reinstatement of the new fees for 2021. And number 4, we did not have him for 22. We actually approved him last week, first year 2022, and then we have to come back and do 2021. On page 17, that's the 2020 that we also reached. Now we're going to go on to the appeal exemptions. This was the exemption approval, and I believe, I don't know if it was you, Meredith, or Valerie, that helped along with this particular one on page 18, and it was talking about the probate starting before the beginning of the year. So I believe that we went ahead and we recommended this for approval for reinstatement of the L9 for 2022. Thank you for your help on it. The next one is a homestead appeal that was denied. She did not apply for the home. We didn't have to apply before the deadline. We're going to move on to page 20, which is the appeals that were adjusted, that were changed. And we have various reasons as why they were changed. So that's going to be page 20 through page 20. Just trying to go into Zoe's here to page 22. And majority of them were reduced down because mostly we applied the sale price from the year before, or we saw that we recommended that the price be reduced based on the sales in the neighborhood or the market sales. We even have a few that went up, like number 17. We went out and saw that the garage had been added and updated some characteristics of the property, so we increased that. So we don't always go down. When they bring it to our attention, we go out and take a look at it and see what we have there and that we corrected that accordingly. Yeah, they love us.
You talked about it.
Let's see, what's that here? Oh yeah, we definitely talked to you. This one, this was an appeal on a vacant lot, but we actually had some improvement value, and I believe that this was a conversion error, or when the income was done in WinGap, somehow the income was put on her property. It was a vacant lot where the value had been at $17,500 for the past few years. And this year, she had a surprise in her notice, and her was a little upset. But we took care of it and went out and visited to make sure that it was still a vacant lot and that we removed the income value that was on there, that was placed in there. And that was a large amount on that. Don't think anything else. Point out unless you have a question on any of the other changes. Go ahead.
I've got a question, just, and it looks like we were just, the ownership correction there, the 8 bids.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. All of those, parcels, are all those lots, friendly development or something?
No, they were all on. Yeah. The way this agenda is printed out, they print it out in parcel number, ID numbers. So as you can see, I went over several different pages, and it's kind of scattered around the county on those. Invested on quite a bit of the property, single family home there. If you look at the last 4 pages, the attachment A, those are our residential no changes that are going to be certified over to the DOE. And that is pages 28, 27, and 30. It's 212 no changes, As you can see, I think on the first page and the second, Altus Group, that's 88 parcels right there. And those are all in one neighborhood. Those are the half duplexes off of Lee Road, the Meadows, near Fairfield Road over there. We appealed all 88 of those, and we know changes to the value on all of these properties here are fair and equitable. And we're going to take all of these to be going and see what happens there. Any questions on anything?
So we have like as example, progress residential borrow number, what is that?
Where are we going?
Like on page 22 as an example.
Yes, that's another investor. I think they filed 90 something appeals. They have a tax rep that's representing them on these appeals. And after going out and looking at these particular parcels and looking at our neighborhood value, we made adjustments.
So anytime there's a different number, it's a different investment. Like 17 is a different investment than 16. Even though it says progress residential.
That's how, I guess, how they own their properties in different LLCs or corporations. I guess maybe they do one at the beginning of the year or the first 3 months, they might put it in this LLC. Then they change over to another. I'm not really sure how they do it. I'm just assuming that.
That's the name of the deed.
Yeah,
That's the name.
that's the owner of the property.
Owner of the property on deed, so we just go by ownership.
Okay.
So they name their business LLC, whatever they choose, not us, it's just what they have.
Okay, so is it one parent company and then
Yes.
in there they just have different
Exactly.
numbers?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And they may transfer from one LLC to the other, like the 19 that I showed you. It really just went from one of their shell companies to another one. I shouldn't say shell, but one of their numbers to another. Mm-hmm.
Are we seeing an uptick in this? I'm just curious.
But the majority of our sales are industrial sales.
Do these corporate investors?
Mm-hmm. They never see the property. It's that, I guess, whoever is their person that goes out and buys.
Questions or comments? This time I can entertain a motion for the written policy digest changes.
Make a motion that we approve the changes in the report regarding real property guidance.
The motion in favor, properly second. Any questions or comments? Being none, all those in favor of the motion manifest by a voting sign of aye. Aye. All those opposed will do likewise. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next is commercial property.
Good morning.
Good morning.
On page 23,
Yes.
we got some A4s. Got 4 of them. The first one is 126-2594. It's a commercial bank property. It's just a regular bank branch. It was put on income and we moved it back to cost. So you can see the original value, the current value, and the difference. And number 2 is parcel 1302589. I made adjustment due to the market area rent. And you can see the difference there before and after the change. And parcel number 3, parcel 3201824, another commercial bank property that we changed from income back to the cost. And you can see the beginning value of the difference, the new value, the new value. And then number 4 is parcel 8601822. And we did an adjustment due to market area rent for that property as well. You can see the difference in the value from before and after. And that's all the changes that I had on those boards. If you got any questions.
Quick question, and this maybe is a question for Steve, but we go from income to cost. Am I mistaken that we went at some point from cost to income, or is it always?
The banks were done in error. The banks should not have gone on income. And it was a casualty that we experienced when migrating. Tyler Technologies requested that they move a bulk of parcels in the commercial parcels to income from cost, and they wrote a script and it moved all parcels that were at one. Instead, all parcels that had income values populated were moved. Because it has income value populated, it should not have been moved. It should have been specific properties that we wanted to move income, but that's what happened. And so we had some casualties, and all the banks were included. We caught some before, but these were appealed. So we just said, since it's appealed, we fix it when it comes to us now. So this is actually fixing. Yeah, but it was an error with conversion. It should have been on cost, should not have.
The 24, changes 24 to 26 are all another changes. I take two of those.
Any questions regarding commercial property? Again, I'm making a motion for the commercial property that just changed.
Make a motion that we accept the commercial property as just changes.
My motion been made, probably second. Any further comments or questions? Being none, all those in favor of the motion, ask that by the voting sign of aye. Aye. All those opposed, do likewise. Motion carried. Thank you. All right, do you have any clues to that? No. Any unfinished business?
On that, no.
Anything here?
No.
All right, well, at this time we'll go to comments.
Okay, and good morning again.
Good morning.
And thanks for being our chair today. Appreciate it. And just for the record, I want to also introduce Keith Houston. He is the Tyler Technology project manager that he led the commercial revaluation process. So any questions regarding those problems I would have to get you ready.
That's right. That's the application.
So I just want to update us on the appeals status. We had 2,037 appeals, and of which 1,586 was residential, 361 was commercial, 38 were homestead, 45 was personal property, 7 was motor vehicle. So far, we have processed 1,035 residential, 176 commercial, 37 of the 38 homesteads, and 41 of the 45 personal property, and all 7 motor vehicle appeals. So currently, we are showing 64% of our appeals have been processed. And when we say processed, we have reviewed them, and we have either made a no change or we have made changes, and these are what we have been presented to the board in these 2 days. And so some have been moved to the Board of Equalization, and some have been moved to the hearing officers. Most of the commercial changes, we have the agreement with Tyler Technologies for the revaluation was also to include some defense of the values at the board, that's the hearing officer and Board of Equalization. So that's the reason why Keith is here. He was here for at least 2 days per week to assist with our commercial guys with reviewing and making documentation for presentation so he can defend the values. So that's one of the reasons why I invited him in here. So if we have any questions, we can also reach out to Keith. He led that project. Yesterday we had the Board of Commissioners had a meeting, and during that meeting they asked a question about cellphone towers, and I'm sure Bob would have gotten that question because they addressed it to the Board of Assessors regarding they have some questions regarding cellphone towers at the county. So we're doing some review of that right now, myself and Eugene, so we can update the Board of Commissioners. Carmen said that she was, I was in contact with you yesterday, and that was, we had a meeting ourselves here. So we're gonna get the updates so we can get it to you, since it was also addressed to the Board of Assessors. So we can update or answer the question they're asking on cell phone towers. So we'll get that out to the board. Yeah, and we are still short 2 appraisers, and it's almost clear now that it's as a result of our low salaries. We're not attracting any certified appraisers. It's understandable since they can put that they can do other companies that they pay them. So we're looking that they will review the salaries and make some adjustments. We're still short 2 certified appraisers, and ideally we want to upgrade the level of 2 or above. We have enough entry level appraisers.
What is the impact to just the operations with being down by 2?
We personal property is in dire need of one, and it impacts us, especially now when we have staff on training. We have 3 appraisers now in training, and we need to take the training, get the training. They have limited training schedule now. So they're gone to what county? Dalton. They're in Dalton now doing training. This is also a change with the Department of Revenue. Before they did most of their training locally at Welcome on Road. They're now spreading it out, so it affects the training budget as well as affects the operation, because we are already on minimum staff with -2, and with those in training. So Eugene, for example, has only 1 staff right now because 1 is gone to training. So it's burdensome on the current those that are here. We did a management retreat last week, and I got feedback from the managers, and one of the comment from one manager that they're overwhelmed. So it is an indication that we have too much on our plate to understand. So I'm also looking at additional staff going forward, but it wasn't put in this current budget, but I need to probably revisit the organization chart and see where we can add. But also will be where are we going to put them in terms of physical offices. So it's a lot to look at, but in conjunction with the board, we will definitely look at it.
So Steve, no, very good. Okay. Well, I was just going to follow up that issue on the budget. We made some requests, and it's 2 questions. Was there a timeline for the decision that was ever given to us, and would that affect this year's budget, or are we talking?
The request that we have would be next year's budget for 2023. So the discussion is in the 2023 budget. So it's still not finalized. I will have to defend what I've asked with the Board of Commissioners. I think it's in November. If they do have questions, then I will be defending the ask. But I've already defended it with the county administrator. So now I'm the finance director. So the Board of Commissioners will they're doing, and I will be able to defend it with them too.
And for the be of any assistance, if we as board of assessors also attend a board commissioners meeting and go on record and just state to the commissioners our concern and why we need to get this addressed from a financial standpoint as soon as possible.
And I would say yes, I'd never say no to that. I know for a fact that they have taken it seriously, and it was acknowledged by Madam Chair. And the fact that was also a member of the board, she understands. I did one-on-one with her, I did one-on-one with most of the commissioners, with Kelly Robinson. So they are aware, and I think if it's possible to get it done, it will be done on this budget. But it would not, say this, they have open meetings, so it would not hurt or be on record also. Yeah.
If you could let us know when a meeting we should be able to attend, or recommend that we come to, we'll make sure we'll see once the board who's available to see and present. And, do a public comments, I guess.
Right. So right now, I think we're in good stead, but let's I'll talk to you further.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the only other question was, I know we had talked about potentially bringing contractors in. Just curious, is that an option to help right now?
It is, and I thought about it after the management meeting. I need to speak with HR to see if they have temps or anything like that. I don't think we have it right now, but I'm going to have that discussion with HR. Because sometimes we have no reception, or if someone gets sick and we need to put our lead specialists need to be doing leads so we can get up to date with the sales. So it's kind of taxing when you're on minimum staff.
Right. But just let us know how we can help.
How does the process work? Again, going back to the budget issue for next fiscal year. I would think, and just for expedience purposes, they would, the board commission would okay this so that we could actually begin the process of looking with possibly new salary ranges so that come first of the year, we could hit the ground running. But it sounds like we're going to have to wait until that decision is made. So we're going to lose a couple of months, it sounds like.
Yes, and that's always the case. I think they finalize the budget in the best sometime thereafter. So we wait until it's finalized. So it's a process. So yes, but that's how it is.
Okay.
Do you have a dollar amount in mind? If you could give us some, speaking points, that would be greatly appreciated as well.
Yeah, we have the numbers. We do have the numbers. Yeah, and just to add to that we ordered 17 computers for the department. To date, we have not received. We ordered an additional car next year's for the budget that we're operating on now. To date, we have not received. So Ford is saying that they need the computer. Car is ready. We got the VIN number, everything, and it's in Kentucky to be shipped here, but there is no chip. So it's a Ford Escape. So we still don't have this car. And since recent times, we've had 2 cars that overheated and left the staff on the street. So we're having issues now. So it's all about supply chain as well.
Just like the computer users.
I think it was a big mix-up with IS with that. And recently they told me they had 5 that was short shipped. That was an order that came in, but we are yet to receive those 5 also. So, and we did get specifications from the minimum requirements on Tyler. And one of the things is to have dual monitors. We have several screens open at the same time and we can't view it. It slows us down. Today we don't have this. And that's on historic budget that we're operating that was discussed in 2021. And that's the process. We don't have it yet on the budget ends in December, end of December, so new budget for January.
So we won't lose that though, right?
No, it's still allocated. The funds have been allocated, but all we want. But just saying we don't have it.
Something else we can ask for on public examination.
Yep. All right. So that's it from me. So if you do have questions for commercial revival, the project manager is here.
And didn't we have a situation a while back where system kept dropping because of the IP address?
And that's not it.
That's not
the
it.
commercial revaluation.
Okay.
The other section. Yeah, that was Tyler Technologies, the whole migration of the camera system. Yeah, he just did the commercial property revaluation.
But that has been addressed, fixed?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we have not had that issue. Yeah.
But nothing about reporting updates or enhancements that you could address.
This gentleman here. No. He what we would like from him is summary report of the revaluation, how many properties they touch, etc., etc. So, and I already requested that, so we're waiting on a summary report of the revaluation.
No. All right. Do you have an ETA on that?
You're speaking to the wrong guy.
I hear the things coming down, so
Give me about, I would say maybe another week.
Okay. Any other enhancements or any other new reports or anything that's coming down the way that we should have awareness?
No, not anything I can pick up right now. My focus right now is to, help with the DOE, the DOE hearing and serve cases, every day of the reports to kids.
All right, thank you. All right, any other comments? Yourself, Chief Craig?
That's all. That's it from me. And Mary, did we have anything that you want that's for aware of?
No, not this.
Right, we're good.
Do we have any citizen business or any citizens?
Today, we have it's a robust staff.
All right, well, something and everything for the executive session, down where.
No executive session.
All right, so let's look at our calendars then for our next meeting. So I think 2 weeks time on it. So we go October 31st. So
We
you probably board and Monday. Any recommendations for maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, typically Thursday for challenge? With November 1st or 2nd works. Or 3rd, because the 3rd I set it out. I'm okay with that. It's sitting on Wednesday, unless you're wrong. You go on the 2nd, how about yourself? You go on the 2nd. All right, so our next board of assessors meeting will be November the 2nd, 9 a.m. Eastern time. All right. Think there's any other business come before the board today? All right, so at this time, I'd like to entertain a motion for adjournment. Make a motion that we adjourn today's meeting. Do a second. Motion been made, properly seconded. Is there any other questions or comments? Being none, all those in favor of the motion, manifest by using the vote sign of aye. Aye. All those opposed will do likewise. All right, meeting adjourned. Thank you.